I like Pat's interpretation of like a hipster is like Irish Jimmy cap sweater. He's like, this is it.
Leave it for the podcast. All right, ready? Sure.
Hello and welcome to the Abandoned Beers podcast. It's the only podcast that's out here trying to match your favorite bands to our favorite beers. And if you don't believe us, just check Google. I am Pat Zapp. I'm the host of this thing, or at least I'm the guy that gets to talk first. And as the guy who gets to talk first, I don't know. This one just feels really random to me. Like a really random episode. Like, there's a trademark on the world's darkest shade of black. The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for a lost item. And if you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, a potato, and an onion. I can, so that seems like bull to me. My name is Pat Zapp, and I'm here with my two best buddies in the whole wide world. And I'm about to introduce this next guy. His name's Dan McHenry. Hey, Dan, did you know that... that the average American produces 4.5 pounds of trash per day?
Yes.
That one man set a world record for putting on 260 T-shirts at once.
No.
And that dolphins give each other names.
How about that? I did not know that, but that's awesome. I love dolphins.
Yep. Well, a couple more random facts coming at you because I got to introduce this other guy. He's the one introducing all this randomness to us, so I got to give it to him. But there is a metallic asteroid shaped like a dog bone, and it's named Cleopatra. Queen Elizabeth II, her cows slept on waterbeds.
You don't say.
And a British teen changed his name to Captain Fantastic, faster than Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, Wolverine, Hulk, and the Flash combined. His grandmother stopped talking to him after that. This guy is Dusty Swartz. Dusty, how's your grandmother?
Dead.
Hey now.
We are Abandoned Beers, and we're here to make you drink beer, think about death, and I guess illuminate stuff. And we're just about ready to get rocking and rolling and cracking and drinking. Boys, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, I'm excited to be here. I was, I didn't know exactly. Well, I didn't know exactly what was going to happen for this one. But then, we started listening to this band, and I guess, we're doing the Lumineers today, guys. This is my pick. And,
Did you say the Illumineers or Lumineers?
Lumineers.
Lumineers.
Sorry.
It sounded like he said Illumineers.
I certainly did.
That's our stupid Philly accent.
Yeah. And, at first I was like, you know what? I think we missed like a decade, like a band that was really popular, early 2010-ish. I was just like, let's fill in the blanks. Here's a fun band that we're all familiar with. And I think that's it. We're all just kind of familiar with them. So, I'm excited to learn a little bit more about them. I mean, I don't know. How do you guys experience with this go?
I think that, I dug them. I like Mumford & Sons.
Yeah.
The Lumineers was a treat for me. I kept trying to figure out what it is, like, why did I like Mumford & Sons and not these guys? I think the answer is banjo, but
Yeah.
I guess we'll get more into that later.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
How about we give them a quick listen? Here's what they sound like.
I belong with you, you belong with me, in my sweet home. I belong with you, you belong with me, in my sweet home. Oh, Ophelia, heaven help a fool who falls in love. On my mind, girl, since the flood. Oh, Ophelia, heaven help a fool who falls in love.
All right, boys, we're back, and I'm glad, Pat. I'm really glad to hear that you actually enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
I thought you might. I was like this. I was channeling. I was like Mumford and Sons. They seem like a nice band. And I think ultimately what I came to understand about them is that this band, their music is around. You know, and when I was trying to listen to their music a lot, I had to go through it about 3 times, the full catalog, and it just like kind of fit into the background a lot for me. And I think when I looked up like their soundtrack usage, it's pretty high.
Yeah.
You know, I think these are on this music is on in stores. You know, like it's not a whole lot of stuff's happening. You know, it's very consistent throughout the way. There's no they rarely like, kind of spaz out at you. There's a lot of it's evoking of emotions.
It was
it's great
familiar,
soundtrack
even though
band.
I'd never heard it before.
Yeah, totally. And it's like it's comfortable. It's definitely emotional at parts. And coming to understand that like they do this whole big concept album thing. I'm usually behind that, but like I feel like it's more of a feeling than like getting really behind those lyrics. So what I went more for was a beer that I think is more about you have one drink, ooh, this is kind of nice. And then it really kind of just settles in on you. Where you can try to drink a lot of them, but you're not going to get it's not going to be the star of the show. It's going to be a nice, easy, drinkable beer. So I went with something that's a little unique in that way, too, just like the Lumineers, not the Lumineers. Feliz Venedor. And it's like, a very pretty can.
Wait, what is it?
Oh, it's very floral.
Feliz Venedor. So this is a Tired Hands beer.
Oh, all right.
Local brewery from the Ardmore area.
That's right. So this beer is a Pennsylvania corn light lager with lime and salt. Right? So this isn't like your typical salt beers. Like, it's made with the corn, so it has like a little bit of that kind of margarita-y taste that you get from these salt beers right now. It doesn't hit you over the head. You get a little bit at first. It's nice, and then I think it takes on the soundtrack of your evening.
Where you guys at on salt?
I like it.
I'm riding heavy with salt lately,
Yeah.
Okay.
and
Is this like a weight gain or a salt gain? What do
well,
Salt lick?
we're all familiar with electrolytes.
Yeah, sure.
Salt is like one of the major electrolytes. Your body needs salt. Your body's craving salt.
Oh, yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
get that salt in there.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes I heard people that suffer from migraines, and they go, it's mostly dehydration.
Yeah.
And I drink water all the time. Like, I'm not dehydrated. A little pinch of salt in your water. It helps your body absorb it a little better.
Yeah, I had terrible migraines when I was a youth. Are you getting migraines right now, Pat?
No.
No.
I rock salt and I drink a lot of water.
Okay,
There
great.
you go.
Yeah, it turned out I just wasn't eating enough. I was just like playing all these sports.
Yeah.
And I would go blind from the migraines. It was crazy.
Dusty was a rail.
Yeah.
This beer kind of reminds me of like a little like a nice tender sequence that you would get from
Exactly.
Dogfish Head.
And I think I thought about doing that sequence. We've done it before on the pod, I believe.
We've talked about it. I don't think it's
Yeah,
ever
I talk
been,
about it a lot.
proposed.
And
It is my summer beer.
but I thought this one was like a little bit more refined. It's definitely a little less known, although the Lumineers are, I think, fairly popular.
Yes, very popular.
But I wanted to do something that was like kind of evokes the
I
spirit
know
of them.
The Lumineers are popular. But, I like to go about. I like to start up a conversation. I like to chat. I like
Yeah.
to stop and chat.
Sure.
Couldn't find a single Lumineers fan.
Yeah, that's
I don't know if it's just like this part of the world, a little bit of a dry patch. You know what? I take that back. Keith, my buddy Keith, was just like, oh, yeah. All right, yeah, Lumineers. Yeah.
no, but I think
I go, hey, yo. He goes, oh, come on. That's just the single. There's more to the band than the single.
yeah, I would love to hear Keith's like we should have him like dial in or something. That would does he think he likes the Lumineers? Like I
Wanna
thought
call?
I would.
Did he mistake them for somebody else? Maybe.
Well, I think it's like I hear their music and you hear like snippets everywhere. Like if you watch any reality TV show, it's all over them. Nicole loves to watch the show Rain. It's a Queen movie
Okay.
or Queen TV show,
Queen.
and like it's literally in every single
Like
episode.
the band Queen or the actual Queen?
Yeah, it's
Monarchy.
it's like a monarchy show. It's like a What's not Gossip Girl XOXO except for about like royalty?
Pat is currently trying to call Keith. If you can hear that in the background,
Yeah.
it doesn't look.
5
like
rings is usually
Yeah, time to
a
hang
bad
up.
time.
Yeah.
We tried.
Yeah.
How about I'll talk about
Get
the
you next
Lumineers
time,
a little
Keith.
bit here. Yeah. Can I give a little Wikipedia description?
Before we do that?
No. What do you got? You're liking the beer. You're not liking the beer.
Flowers on the can.
Yeah.
Does it taste a little bit like flowers? Is there a floral thing going on?
You know, I don't get flowers when I'm drinking this.
Well, there's also corn mixed in amongst the label too,
Yeah.
and it's a light corn lager. So,
Yeah, corn light lager.
am I picking up on the corn and the flavor? Not necessarily. I
I'm
think
almost getting like a
I think the salt and the lime are the dominant.
I have my
flavor.
challenges with my smells. I can't
Yep.
smell, but like I'm getting like almost like a perfume kind of like
Yeah.
like when it's in the air a little bit.
You know, it's a light lager. I think it has just a little bit of like that kind of like beery smell, but except for I definitely it's more lime than anything.
Yeah, definitely getting the lime and then salt, and I'm
Lime,
digging it. And
salt,
I'm agreeing
corn.
with your
Yeah.
initial the way you introduced it as something that just kind of sits in the background.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'm getting that flavor. The flavor is just kind of sitting in the back of my mouth now a little bit as we're talking in between swigs.
You know,
And
it's
it's just there.
It's familiar. It's
Yeah.
not bad. You hear it. It's on like it's especially once I started paying attention to this band. Like it's in like every store you're walking into. It's like you're hearing this music a
Oh, yeah.
lot.
Definitely.
And it's like
Yes.
it's pleasant. It's
Who
good.
knew?
And I think that's
Especially
why like
when they were at their peak.
yeah, it's
in
like
the-
I thought this was a good band, and they are very good. Maybe not everyone's cup of tea, for sure. Once you dive into that catalog,
Good songs played well. I
Yeah.
mean, it's I don't know why people bag on them. Some people bag on them for being like purposely popular,
yeah,
but it's just like, hey, dummy,
That's
Yeah.
what happens.
Make
when
some
you're
cash.
popular. Yeah,
what are
there's
you doing
usually
your
haters.
job? Trying to make the most money?
yeah,
or-
exactly.
Yeah. So the Lumineers are an American alternative folk band based in Denver, Colorado.
Classic.
The founding members are Wesley Schultz, who does lead vocals and guitar, and Jeremiah Freitz, who does the drums, percussion, and piano. Those are pretty much the main instruments you're going to hear
Yeah.
in a Lumineers song. Schultz and Freitz began writing and performing together in Ramsey, New Jersey in 2005.
That's right. There's an East Coast flair to this.
And then cellist and vocalist Nayla Pekarek joined the band in 2010 and was a member until 2018 when she kind of left to try to do her own solo thing.
Oh.
I haven't looked into any of her solo stuff, so I don't know. I assume it hasn't been that successful. So
Yeah, pretty wild for a cellist to
Yeah.
be a part of one of the most popular bands in America.
yeah. The Lumineers emerged as one of the most popular folk rock Americana artists during the revival of those genres, their popularity growing in the 2010s. They're known for their energetic live shows and
All right.
several international hit singles, including, we've already said Ho Hey, or is it Hey Ho?
It's definitely one or the other.
Yeah.
Oh hey.
Ho Hey. Stubborn Love,
Ho
Ophelia, Angela, and Cleopatra. They love the women's names. In
Yeah.
their, in
Ah,
their
you
song
picked up on that
titles.
theme too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Every girl in the world's in one of these songs.
And
That's that.
they are currently one of the top touring bands in the U.S. So there's a lot of people out there that like them because they're very popular when they go out on tour.
Yeah, I guess
It's
that's
like
the
it.
test.
They're doing stadiums, I imagine.
I don't probably maybe arenas.
Arenas?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see them doing the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
I
maybe
don't
that
know
was-
that I could see them.
Maybe
you know,
the
doing
man.
the Link
something
or
like
the
that.
maybe the Man too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So genres that they fall under on Wikipedia, it's a nice short list. Indie folk,
Indie folk.
yes,
Okay.
I could see that. Folk rock,
Right.
I don't pick up on the rock necessarily, but definitely the folk.
Yeah.
And then we got Americana.
That's interesting.
I
Does
like
anybody
the
know
Americana.
what Americana is?
I bought that album from The Offspring.
By the Offspring,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Welcome to Americana.
Yeah,
I
and
definitely-
they have probably a different depiction of what that would be.
I definitely think of like banjos, folksy when I think of Americana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like something that happened in the early 1900s to me. Like
Yeah.
some music that, it's somebody with an acoustic guitar just singing about
Yeah.
something that's happened in
Music
in their
from like
life.
the early America.
Yeah, and they're kind of dressed the way Pat's dressed right now. In case we haven't really mentioned that yet. That's that's the sweater in the room, whatever.
I'm trying to keep the tradition
car-
of us
yeah.
dressing up for the
Got
bands
a cardigan
alive.
sweater and
Yeah.
a Jeff cap on.
This
and,
was the best I could do.
and it's pretty warm in this room right now, so he's looking very hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moneybags over here doesn't have central air.
I sure do. It's just I'm on. It's you know, like I'm gonna have to get a multi-zone still.
Yeah,
so
gonna
it's
have to get a
and I did
second
actually.
unit upstairs.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Because we're on the 3rd floor of my abode.
Yeah.
You know, so it's hard to get up here.
I think I like the hat, the sweater. I'm pretty indifferent on.
Yeah.
I'll rock the Jeff cap at St. Patrick's Day. That's the only time I'm pulling it out because I run hot and my body ventilates at the top of my head. That's why I don't have as much hair up there anymore.
Most people do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a volcano.
Exactly. So if I'm eating a hot food or anything along those lines, that's the first part of my body that's getting hot. You can feel it just ventilating right out top.
Yeah, if you go outside when like after being inside, you can see there's just steam rising up right from that
Yeah,
core.
exactly.
Yeah.
I had a Mad Men phase
Mm-hmm.
where I wanted to, be clean shaven and shave with a double-edged razor and cut my hair like, Don Draper.
Yeah, drapery.
So I'm not immune to the nostalgia for the past, but I don't get why people dress old-timey.
Yeah, there's a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
A lot
First
of
of all.
layers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's usually skinny people that are dressing like that. So I guess they're cold, maybe.
Yeah, and maybe they just feel like they can like.
Well,
pull
if
off
I may
anything.
speak for the neckbeards,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
fedoras are very popular in this online group of fat nerds. And men wearing hats is from another.
Men in hats.
Yeah, the like I feel like every video you see, there's a lot of hats going on with
A lot
those
of
bands.
hats. A lot
Yeah,
of
for
dumb
sure.
hats.
Yeah.
A lot of hats, a lot of cotton-looking shirts.
Yeah, I was gonna call it
slacks,
yeah, like a
Suspenders.
linen
suspenders. Yeah.
linen look almost. Yeah, just like natural fabrics.
Yeah.
Maybe they're making their own clothes.
I refuse to go the suspenders route myself because I have a gut, and anytime I see a fat guy with suspenders, I don't know, I crack up to myself.
makes
so
it
I don't want to
protrude
be
a
that
little
guy.
bit. Yeah.
I wore suspenders once
Okay.
at Dusty's wedding,
Yeah,
and it was a dream.
There you go.
Ah,
I do enjoy it. It's fun. but-
pants just being held up.
yeah.
Why haven't you gone back?
Yeah, good question.
Haven't had a whole lot of suspender opportunities.
Not a whole lot of suspender opportunities.
Hmm.
Overalls, that used to be a thing.
Yeah, you can see these guys wearing overalls.
Probably nowadays. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's in right now, right?
Totally.
Oh,
is in,
ladies rocking overalls, big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jumpers.
It
You're
might
gonna
be
see
even
those.
like be out already.
Yeah, you're
But
going
yeah.
to see a lot with the Eagles fans coming up this season too, because at the first day of training camp,
Yeah.
half the offensive line showed up in Eagles themed overalls, like they were like flannel looking, like green and black. So
Yeah.
you'll see once the games start out, there's going to be crazy people out there in the summer wearing them, but I guess during the winter it'll be nice and warm. So,
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah, and everyone's gonna be rocking new gear because of the Kelly Green.
Yep, that too. So, just another commentary on the beer right now. We're just kind of hanging out, shooting the shit here, talking.
Haven't
And
seen you
this
guys
is
in a while, yeah.
Yeah, we're just kind of enjoying the beers. We could have the Lumineers on in the background right now. Like
Yeah.
if we were not recording a podcast, I could see us just hanging out, having it on in the background. You don't really necessarily notice it's there, but
Yeah,
It's enjoyable.
It's very pleasant
Yeah.
at all times.
and I think that's the way this beer is going down.
so I
from
think I
years
don't know
off.
if you guys will agree, but I do think at least I hit what I was trying to do.
Yeah, the way you described it hit, and the way you just related it to the band. This might be one of your first successes in a while.
Like my intense themes and
Yes.
trying to lock it down.
Well, for the first time in a while, you and I are on a similar mind path.
Hey,
So I think you'll find a few similarities in my beer.
all right, let's check
and
it out.
this beer, well, one more time, we're going Tired Hands,
Yeah.
Felice Venedor. Venedor? Is that how you say it?
Venedor.
Venedor.
I don't speak Spanish.
Nah, I don't either, but
Vendidor.
yeah,
Dedor.
I'm enjoying the beer, and I'm looking forward to
yeah,
where you're
try
going
it.
to take us next, Pat.
All right. I'm not, but let's do it anyway.
All right.
All right.
So, as I was saying, oh, wait, you know what? I think I have my beers mixed up. My beer's nothing like your beer.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was the same beer.
No. For perhaps another episode, I have a similar beer for us.
okay.
find out that in the
Yeah.
future.
On the next episode.
So for this one, I went about it a different way. I was trying to think of like what the Lumineers aesthetic was,
Yeah.
and I couldn't come up with the word for it.
Right.
Um,
Americana.
Americana.
right, but what I kept finding was bohemian,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know what that means, so I had to look it up.
Uh-huh.
And
There's a very famous song that references it.
at a quick glance, a person with artistic or literary interest who disregard conventional standards or behavior. So to match the Americana style of the band, I was thinking that my beer had to be an old beer. An old beer from a time period of which these guys are sort of like drawing inspiration from, or you know, driving inspiration from. I don't know if I said that twice. Did I say that twice? It doesn't
okay.
matter. So you know, like, and I guess I don't know if it was like
Driving.
I kept thinking of you know, other bands similar to the Lumineers. Like I mentioned Mumford and Son, but I also
Yeah,
thought
sure.
the National. I thought.
Ooh, I love the National.
I thought the National. I thought Bohemian. So I was thinking National Bohemian.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh boy, what a beer.
Going
That's
down
what
to
it says on the
Baltimore.
can.
Oh, first brewed
So
1885.
the guy on the can, it's like a mix of like the Cincinnati Reds mascot, is it Utz potato chips or whatever wait, Pringles. Has the guy with the mustache on, or the round face.
it's like
yeah.
Pringles guy and the Monopoly Man, all kind of like
Yeah.
jammed in there.
He's like winking at you.
Oh boy, what a beer! Their motto is to live pleasantly. National Bohemian beer, an American lager originating out of Baltimore, Maryland, first brewed in 1885.
All right.
It's a Pabst beer. Nearly 90% of this sales come from the Baltimore area. So if you're not too familiar with it, don't blame you.
Yeah,
But
go to Baltimore.
yeah,
Yeah, it's near
Culture
Camden
yourself.
Yards.
Go
Yeah.
to the Baltimore Aquarium in Camden Yards.
Yeah. It was Camden Yards the brewery for this originally, or not?
I do
I'm gonna
not
have to
know.
look into that.
Yeah,
That might be just terribly
that's
fake.
our stadium podcast. We'll talk about on that episode.
For a time, the Nationals president, Gerald Hoffenberger, also owned the Baltimore Orioles.
See, I think there's
All right,
definitely
there's
a tie
connection
in
there.
So
It's a departure from the Felice Vendedor.
yeah, never seen this before. Was interested to find it
Yeah.
with the likes of your hams or your schlitzes.
Yep.
It's a low class, blue collar, every day, every drinking kind of something that's not too intimidating. Anybody can find it, drink it, find it reasonable, pleasant. Oh, this is good. I'd never had this before, but no, you know, it doesn't jump at you with too many like harsh overtones. Easy, smooth, nice,
Yeah.
pleasant.
It's comparable to your PBRs out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
PBR, Smiths. I remember getting those 30 packs. When
Yeah.
I was freshly 21, getting them for like $10 or $15. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if I was going to get into this. You know, everything has a desired effect and, you know, an undesired effect, you know.
Yeah.
Everything has a side effect. Drinking too much water makes you go to the bathroom,
Yep.
you know.
Or you could
this-
drown drinking too much water.
You can drown. Yeah, everything has
That's
a lethal
crazy.
dose. You just...
Drink 2 gallons of water
Yeah,
too
yeah.
fast.
You gotta
And it's
offset
just
it
like,
with beer.
hey,
Mm.
there's no more room for your other stuff. I had this on, I think, I got it on a Friday. Tried it out, liked it, enjoyed it. Went to bed, woke up, and I had a whole Saturday to myself. Just a Saturday, I was just like, well, I got a case of beer in the fridge, and maybe I'll have one. And then I had 2, and then, you know, it went on and on that way. And pretty enjoyable little Saturday.
There you go.
And then I
Hey.
woke up on Sunday.
How
How
are
was
you
that?
feeling?
Normally, after all those beers, I'd be sick as a dog, but I felt perfectly fine
There you go.
until I had to go to the bathroom,
Uh-oh.
and then I went to the bathroom for the rest of Sunday.
Ooh.
Yeah. Mud
Been there.
City, boys.
Been there. And that's usually PBR was my usually that was the culprit of the day afters for me.
Yeah. So you
First
think
time I was ever on the toilet, and I was like, "There's nothing left.
Yeah.
We don't care. Whatever's in here's got to come out now."
So it's good that we're all just having one right now.
Yeah,
So-
the one. I'd recommend
Yeah,
one.
Exactly. Yeah, so interesting beer. Definitely, you had us going thinking we were getting a similar beer to Dusty's, and then you threw us a curveball there. I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah. I don't know where my head's at, but it must be all over
It's
the
all
place.
good. You're overheating with that
yeah.
that sweater and that Jeff cap, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the albums that the Lumineers have put out, or Lumineers, depending on who you ask.
Or where they're from. Yo, go ahead, those Lumineers. Let me hear about that.
Yeah.
The Lumineers
So-
and Naughty.
Ooh.
Running music from behind the scenes.
There you go. I like it. All right. Self-titled album comes out in 2012. This is like prime. This is when Mumford & Sons is blowing up. This is when all the Americana type music is just really hitting the airwaves. You're picking up on it everywhere you go in stores, what have you.
Yeah.
But this was like pre-hipsters. No,
No.
post-hipsters. Hipsters came a long way before this band in
For sure.
2012. I mean, the guys in the coffee shops already had ironic facial hair and
Yeah.
suspenders and caps,
Yeah.
and so like
It was like the very, the stick figure drawing tattoos.
the world was ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in December 2011, the song "Ho Hey" was used in the first season of CW's Heart of Dixie. Anybody remember that show? I don't. I know.
Heart of Dixie with Rachel Wilson.
Okay, I saw this and I was like, I have no idea what that show is. So all right, you've heard of it or
Heard of it.
seen it
Already. Soundtracks. Here we go, guys.
Yeah. So appearing on that show started a national buzz on social media. This is when social media is really starting to heat up and become a thing. Twitter and Facebook are really hitting their prime. 2011, no? I'd say they're hitting their prime right at that point.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, where you could have a buzz on social media. And then from
Instagram
there,
just took off.
yeah, from there, radio play by alternative radio stations, and like alt stations like WXPN, they started playing them, and they just took off from there.
Yeah.
"Ho Hey" was the first big song that came out off of the self-titled album, and
You can see this being a great radio band because it's not gonna, it's nice, easy songs. You can kind of follow it up with whatever you want.
yeah, I'll admit, this was still during my CD buying time period, and I bought this album.
Did you?
Oh,
And
really?
I enjoyed it. Yes.
Ho Hey. I get it. I could see why
Yeah.
it became such like a thing,
Yeah.
but like
It's just like I can see him on stage, just stomping his foot on the stage, like getting the acoustic guitar going.
but for me it just stinks out loud, man.
Yeah, really?
Oh, I really,
Wow.
really, really dislike it. But from the beginning of the album to "Flowers in Your Hair" to "Classy Girls," I like it. And then "Ho Hey" comes, I'm like, ugh. And then "Slow It Down." I know that's like one of their big like live show songs.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't like that one, but they think they pick it up with "Stubborn Love," "Big Parade," and "Charlie Boy."
Submarines I enjoyed too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of my. That's on the top
That's
of my
usually
list.
where you put your gem is track 3.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had bought that album. I was like, all right, I'm digging this. I like where music is going. It's something different. At the time a lot of people were calling this like plain. It was kind of like plain music. You can't really describe it. Like it's different, but it's just like it's just there. Kind of what we've been talking about. We keep going back to that.
I'm
Like
just giving you
Dave's-
guys lots of looks.
Dave Matthews Banny, where it's just like general rock.
Something like that. It just
You know.
it just goes in the background, and you can have like a nice little garden party and have it playing in the background or
Right.
something.
And it's
Yeah.
pleasant.
Your
Yeah.
grandmother
exactly.
would not be like
Yeah.
opposed to it.
You're not offending the older generation by having it on
Right,
at a
your
party.
kids
what
could
have you.
listen to it
Yeah.
without anything. So
It can cross generations. So I was excited when they were going to be
hitting all the demos.
exactly. I was excited when a
Yep,
new
yep,
album was
yep.
coming out in 2016. Cleopatra.
Cleopatra.
Here's where we start seeing the old timey, women's names included on, in their songs.
Just on this one, Ophelia,
Ophelia.
Cleopatra, Angela, Gail.
All right, I got a quick story. This is before the Lumineer. Now I'm calling them the Lumineers.
The
Before the
Illuminati.
Lumineers had the Ophelia song,
Yeah.
the band had a song called Ophelia. And for a while, I wanted to name my daughter Ophelia.
Uh-oh.
But then I started thinking about, nicknames that comes from, you'd have to call her Fifi. Then you think about, like, what guys are going to be saying when she's a teenager. I'm going to feel her, or I'm going to feel you. Things along. I started thinking, I was making sure that, she needed a name that had to be foolproof, like, was not going to become, like, an inside joke amongst the guys.
And what's your daughter's name?
May.
Can't make-
M-A-E.
can't
Another old-timey kind of name.
Can't make fun of that.
No. But for a short time, Jackie would have never allowed me to name a girl Ophelia, but that made my top 5 girls name list.
Ophelia's not fun.
No, it
She
isn't.
couldn't have any complaints.
No, exactly. So, but I enjoy the Lumineers version of Ophelia. It's not a cover of the band's Ophelia. It's their own
Right.
Yeah.
version of her own song. But
And I like this album.
good song.
I think
Yeah.
it's good.
it is.
Yeah, that's nice.
Sleeping on the Floor, Ophelia, Cleopatra. I mean, they go on a run of like good songs.
Angela's a really nice song.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
it.
Angela.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's an old-timey girl's name, but I'll group it in there.
And then there's a deluxe album where they have a couple of bonus tracks, and I really started, diving into some of the bonus tracks to get a feel for what they're like
Demos
live.
and what have you. And
Oh,
live,
well,
live
they-
versions of songs.
Yeah, the more
Yeah.
live tracks, and
Okay.
I could see how they're good live. 'Cause,
Interesting.
Even though some of the albums don't seem like they bring a lot of life to a lot of the songs with the live stuff.
Yeah. I do the exact opposite every time we
You probably
listen
feel
to a
that.
band. I never listen to the deluxe version of albums. I want to hear what it was, what they released when, what they were going for when they first released it.
We
Yeah.
had a little extra time with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had.
That's true.
It was a nice lead up to this one.
It was. A couple more years in between albums. 2019, they released the album 3. This is Roman numeral 3. We got Gloria was the first single off of the album.
Donna, another woman's name.
Yeah.
I heard Gloria a lot. I still listen to the radio. I listen to Alt 104.5 in Philadelphia, and that Gloria got a lot of play, and my kids enjoyed it as well. So that once again crossing generations.
Just smooth,
Young
easy
children
listening.
love it. You can sing along to it pretty easily.
Yeah, and this is their concept album, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun. I think you had to watch the videos to fully get it. I think it was like trying to follow along with the lyrics, at least for me in these songs, because it's not. I don't think it's like hitting you over the head what they're going for all the time. Maybe that's just my opinion, but yeah, I was trying to like listen to it. I was trying to watch it, and I was like, you can totally get it once you watch it. What's going on here? It's like it's a family history, different members, like different generations of this family, and like what's going on with them.
Playing into the people that listen to their music, multiple generations.
Oh.
Look at that.
Hey, you think this is all like just marketing?
Burping a lot over there, I see, Pat.
That was one. Yeah,
The
I got one.
National Bohemian, yeah.
Yeah.
It comes back. It kind of sits in the back of your throat a little bit, and then gets a little bubbly. Yeah.
My favorite album,
This one?
3.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that?
I mean, I was liking the Cleopatra one, and I was just like, all right, pretty good. And then 3 came along, and I was like, oh, 3 kind of makes Cleopatra look like shit.
See, I found a lot of the songs, aside from like the singles, were just kind of filler music. Nothing really stood out to me.
I didn't I get the whole concept. I wasn't following along.
Yeah, I
that
didn't
way,
go
so-
that
But
deep
like, I
into it.
did have like a thing where like, oh, all these songs are sort of going together, and like there seems to be like a very enjoyable.
It's like I think
Like 3.
I love concept like the band May and the Everglow. I love that album.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like
I was listening to them in the car today.
oh nice.
There you go.
It's like I think when I see it, I'm like I get excited, and I was like, oh, I had to put a lot of effort in to kind of pull out that concept.
All right, and then their latest album came out in 2022, Brightside. First song right off the bat has distortion on guitar. That really stood out to me. They had never really done distortion on the guitar.
This would be the first album without their cellist, yeah?
Yes. Well, actually, no, 3, I think, because she left in 2018.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But right off the bat, they were feeling a little inspired. Maybe
Yeah.
the pandemic kind of, he wanted to switch things up a little bit.
Super different. You could tell right away.
Yeah.
Super different.
Yeah.
All the song titles are capitalized for some reason.
Yes.
I like this album though, and like even the album art, I get it. It's like it's very hopeful. It's kind of reaching for something. It's just, it's just a hand in the sky.
Bright side.
Yeah.
We were coming out of the pandemic. Maybe that was part of what direction they were going for.
AM radio kind of sounded like a truck commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, dun.
I love that song though.
Go out there and buy a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just love "I'll Be Your Bright Side, Baby." I'll be your bright side, baby, tonight. I don't know. I just love the way that sounded.
Yeah.
Sorry to sing for a second there.
Yeah. Didn't dig this one. Didn't like it.
I'm coming the exact opposite direction from you. Like, I'm gonna say 3 was my least favorite of their 4 albums.
All right.
Yeah, I think I'm on the same page as you, Danny.
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna
like
say Self-Title was my favorite.
Self-titled's my favorite. I like this one. This one probably has a few of like my my 6-pack songs on it, as well as Cleopatra. But like, no, I like this one. I think it was actually starting to it was grabbing my attention more than the other ones were. Especially
definitely.
maybe it's because it was like stuff I hadn't necessarily heard as much as the other guys, so it didn't all just fade into the background.
Yeah. So I think in the future we need to just bite the bullet and get some tickets and see the Lumineers, see what everybody's all about. Why is everybody so excited about
Yeah,
it?
do a nice little
They'll probably be playing like a local amphitheater or something. Yeah.
yeah,
Like
nice little tailgating pod. Let everybody know how we're preparing for
Yeah.
a show.
We'll have
It's a
Pat
great idea
Ware.
by you, Dan.
Pack and wear his no, this was Pat's idea. The tailgating idea was Pat's idea. But Pat could wear his sweater and his Jeff cap, and we probably will lose him in the crowd more than likely.
Yeah, it's like they're probably ushering him to the stage. Like, sir, you got lost.
Yeah.
I wonder if they could tell it's just like he's faking it. 'Cause that's how I feel wearing it. I'm just like, oh man, everybody knows I'm in a costume.
Do you think we'd be like, hey, actually, we have a podcast. We're basically in the media. Like, we're gonna have to get back in here for free.
Yeah. So does my mother. Get
Yeah.
him on.
Yeah.
Everybody has a podcast.
Might be able to get some free suspenders out of it or something too. Yeah. From backstage, who knows?
You think they shoot him off into the crowd?
Oh,
once
there
they're
you go. There's
at the end of this show.
Instead of
Here's a
guitar
bunch
picks,
of
you're just getting
big-
suspenders out there.
Big rimmed glasses with no lenses in them.
Yeah, so that's the Lumineers albums. We got only 4, so that was our research wasn't too taxing.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. That's why I was able to dive into some of the deluxe albums. Found a cover of "This Must Be the Place" from the Talking Heads.
Okay.
Love that song. Have yet to find a version of it I don't like.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, "This Must Be the Place."
Yeah, I love the Talking Heads. Could be a future.
That'll be a fun one.
episode.
Here they
Yes,
are.
it would be. All right. Well, I got really excited when I found my beer for the Lumineers.
Yeah, you've been talking shit.
I've been talking a lot of
I know,
shit.
this is the most confidence Dan's ever been.
I know, and that usually turns into No, actually, the last episode was when Len was supposed to be the band of the summer.
Oh yeah. you were-
I was
Weirdly
very
confident.
excited
That
about
was
that.
way off.
How do you guys feel knowing that your credibility has been completely killed by you guys saying that Len is a good band and that "Steal My Sunshine" is a good song? Do you feel like it's gonna
There was
affect your?
There's actually a
Yeah,
TV.
the
There's a
things you
TV
say.
commercial out there right now for like some summer theme something or other, and it's Len. "Steal My Sunshine" is the song playing.
The next Bud Light,
Yeah.
whatever that company is.
They're gonna get They're gonna cancel because of Len.
Canceled.
Anyway, I'm
Canceled
excited
until
about my
next year.
beer coming up next. So
Let's get to it then.
let's do it. All right, guys. The Lumineers have a lot of female names in their song titles.
Yeah.
A lot of old timey Gloria, already
Donna.
lost, yeah,
Angela.
Cleopatra,
Cleopatra.
Angela, Ophelia. So, here's my notes for.
Margarine.
I always write some notes for my
Agatha.
beer choices.
Liza.
Something hipster or
Angela.
Americana. I knew what Americana.
You didn't have to look it up.
I didn't have to look it up. Couldn't find a beer that related
College
to
boy
Americana.
knew a word over
That's
here.
right. Then I'm thinking to myself, some kind of like rye or wheat ale or beer. Like
Ooh, I could see that.
I see,
Okay.
the way they're dressing, I could see them
Yeah.
like something rye, just kind of It just stood out in my head.
You could make this in your own toilet.
I went to my local, it's called the Beer Yard, my distributor. I'm talking to the owner about it. I tell him this. I have a conversation about the podcast every time, and he always acts surprised every time.
The beer yard.
Yes, this is in Wayne, Pennsylvania, and so he's like, "Oh, I know the Lumineers. Let me go take you over to where this is going to be the beer that you need." And he takes me over to the import section, and he shows me Harp. And he says, they sound kind of Irish, like, they remind me of Irish music, so I think this will be a good beer for you. And I was like, oh, thanks. I was like, well,
Ooh, that's a tough one. The guy shows you the beer. He's like, found it for you, pal.
Yeah.
Don't gotta thank me.
And I was like,
here
well,
you go, just
and
buy
that's
it.
when I was just like, usually I just walk around, I look at labels, and I wait for something to pop out at me and really
Feels
catch my
good.
attention.
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh, go to he sent me to the one freezer. He's like, that's where all like the fancy beers are, where we have to, they're shipped in. You have to keep them cold like immediately.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like getting the fancy beer.
Yeah.
Dan.
So from the Vale Brewing Company in Virginia,
Oh, the
I
Vale.
found a beer called Gladiola Pumpernickel.
Okay, I can see
Gladiola.
that. Drop Dead Fred vibes for me, like that.
Look at that cover. Does it remind you of Cleopatra?
Yeah. I mean,
The album cover?
normally I hate when labels are a reason, but like this one kind of is a little on the nose.
Yep. It is a wheat beer, like a Hefeweizen.
Oh, okay.
And here's the description from Untapped. It's 5.4% open fermented Hefeweizen,
Ooh.
fermented at higher temperatures than Brauhassenweiss. Dry hopped subtly with Hallertau Mittelfrüh hops from Germany. Effervescent, floral, crackers, dry, earthy. Tastes like taking a spin on a hayride through a field of flowers with your grandmama on a nice spring afternoon.
I would say that description does sound like the
Yeah.
Lumineers.
Yes.
Kind of sounds like me. I'm effervescent.
Yes. So I'm looking. I did not taste this ahead of time, so I'm looking forward to seeing what it tastes like.
No, I was considering a Hefeweizen for my beer. I thought that could have worked, so this might have evoked something like that.
I kind of wanted to stay away from the international beers.
This is
'Cause of
definitely
the
Americana. It's a Hefeweizen. Yeah.
Yep, getting it.
Is it like taking a hayride with my grandmama? I don't know about that.
I didn't take many hay rides with my grandma.
No, I didn't either.
No.
Taking hayrides with
We
my
started
kids.
this thing with grandmothers. That's
Yeah.
weird. It's come back to grandmothers.
This is a generational band.
Grandmother's music. This is your grandmother's music.
Pumpernickel bread is the kind you get at the Outback Steakhouse. The brown
Okay.
loaf.
The brown one.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about Gladiola?
That
It's a
one.
flower.
Okay. Doesn't she kind of look like Cleopatra a little bit on the cover?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
She has like
Gladys.
Yeah. So Vale Brewing Company. I just found this out an hour ago. Well, I tied it back to who the brewing company was. Our buddy Marty recently, he's opening up a bar in the city.
a meeting house.
And he had a brewer from Virginia come up to visit him, and he's like, dude, I have this guy I'm meeting this guy in the bar right now, and he used to sing for Under Oath. And I was
No.
like, what? So he gave me the name. The guy's name is Matt Tarpey. He had sung on them. He had like a couple hardcore bands, but then like when one of the times when their singer like quit and they needed to finish up a tour, they brought him on to sing for that tour.
So is he on any albums?
No, he's not on any albums, but he toured with, he was their singer for a tour once. But he was excited about it. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Like, I looked him up. I was like, this is cool. But Vale Brewing Company is his
Get
brewing
out of
company.
here.
So,
That's cool.
So cool little, I did not even realize Vale Brewing Company.
I got into like, oh man, I need to hear Under Oath.
Yeah.
And went and, I use YouTube Music.
Yeah.
And couldn't find Chasing Safety
Really?
in the catalog. Everything else is there, but Chasing Safety's not there. And I'm like, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear the Boy Blushes Red and all the jams that I don't know. And some re-recording live version, but not the actual version. I was very, very curious about
Interesting.
but then not curious enough to look it up at all.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like I've still gotten it on Spotify, no problem.
I think,
so.
I own the album. It's like
That too.
up there. So I
You
don't
just
know.
pointed to a blank wall. I don't know what you're.
Yeah, there's a case up there.
Books.
Okay.
Oh, there's a case.
Oh yeah. All right. I was gonna say I have multiple shelves of CDs still on
Yeah.
display. I'm actually MXPX has a new album coming out, and I'm
Oh.
buying the CD so that I can.
You
add
want
it
to
to my
do an
collection.
MXPX episode in like celebration of it?
We could, but I assume you guys aren't fans of MXPX, so it might not go over that
As
well.
much as anybody.
They've put a lot of albums out, like 15 albums, so it would be a long.
Yeah, that'd be a
episode.
big one.
Anyway, the Lumineers. Well, first thing, what are we thinking on this beer? I got a Hefeweizen taste initially, and the more I'm drinking it, I'm getting I'm getting the floral, and it's not.
There is like a farmhouse kind of ale kind of thing. It sticks with you. It has like a lingering mouth taste to it, which is probably because it's like lots of fun organic ingredients. I mean, what do you guys think about Hefeweizens in general? We haven't done too many on this pod.
No. I'm like one of those things where Germans make the best cars.
Uh-huh.
I think like Germans make spectacular beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that Hefeweizen thing, I was just like, oh, must be good. Must be.
Hefeweizen.
It's an import. Wouldn't make its way over here if it wasn't
Yeah.
good. But I guess these breweries can, just sort of like imitate a style. And not.
And this guy actually, Matt Tarby, I was read up on his history when our buddy Marty was talking about him, and he like went over and like trained with, brewers over in either Germany or Belgium, I forget which. But so he's done his homework.
He's been in the Alps.
Yeah.
With a big wooden spoon stirring things.
So I could see like a hardcore beer drinker probably liking, really digging all the floral. But
Did you guys,
Hefeweizen wise, I
there's
try
a
to
lot
stay-
going on in
I
this
try to
beer.
stay away
Yeah.
from Hefeweizen.
Did you guys watch the Arnold documentary?
No, the Netflix version or the Pump and Iron.
Oh, that's a good point.
I own Pump and Iron on
but
DVD.
the-
Still
the-
on my shelf. Still on my shelf.
Arnold, it's a 3-part series on Netflix.
Haven't
No, I
watched
have
that
not
yet
watched that.
because I don't think they can top Pumping Iron.
Well, it's a 3-part series. The third one is him running for politics. The second one is him being a movie star, and the first one is him growing up and becoming a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh man, I just needed to get out of my little village in Austria.
Yeah.
And they show footage from the town, and I was like, I would never leave this place. It's so cute. I would just stay there.
Just be
It looks
happy.
great. Yeah, riding your bike, like pushing
Milking
a wheel with a
cows.
stick,
Yodeling.
whatever, man.
Yeah.
Become the biggest superstar in the world. Why don't you?
Yeah.
He got away from the Hefeweizens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have a feud with Sylvester Stallone. It's just
Yeah. It's great. It's a great documentary.
All right,
I
I'll
bet.
check it out. All right.
no, but this beer is interesting. There's so much going on in it. I think it's like it's a lot on the palate.
Yeah, it might not relate necessarily to them musically.
Yeah.
I
to be
was
the third beer, it's
I was
not
coming at it
hitting,
just
it's
from
not
the
hitting right?
just from the label.
I mean, that
Radiola Pumpernickel.
that label's right on for what
Yeah.
they're trying to do.
So we'll see. We'll see how that goes later during our votes. I think we're ready for your favorite part of the episode, right, Dust?
Yeah, you guys, you know what time it is. It's time for us to do our
Happy Hour songs on draft. Bum, 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 bum.
My Sweet
Oh.
Heart.
Your interludes in the other episodes stunk.
Oh, they
I
weren't
could-
good?
I wish I would just told you this off camera so you didn't have the possibility of confusing it with a bit. But I missed that guitar riff.
Ooh.
Oh. You need more?
Oh, the interludes.
The interludes. Oh, his interludes were awful.
Yeah.
This one would be really tough for it to-
Ba-na, bwam, ba-na, bwam. That's the interlude, dude. Happy
So-
Hour songs on draft.
Yeah. Do we think we have enough for 3 songs for each of us?
I was actually gonna propose we do 2, but I was.
I think we could go 3.
I think we can go 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
If
like,
we can't,
I have a list of their songs in front
Yeah.
of me, so it's not like it's like impossible.
so categories. We were just talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger. What about
Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger movies?
Oh, I would love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Hercules Goes to New York.
Terminator.
Terminator 2.
That's not what it's called.
T2. Judgment Day.
Thank you.
That's
Okay.
the same
Yeah,
thing.
it's accepted.
Thank you.
Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines.
I'm not gonna get the next one's name right, so I'm gonna go Kindergarten Cop.
Last Action Hero.
Ooh, golden ticket my ass, McBain. Predator.
True Lies.
what
Just
I
watched
was
that
just
for the
thinking
first
about.
time with Nicole the other day. She was like, "What is going on in this movie?" Like, I was like, "Just hold on."
It's good. Good the whole
fun.
time.
Pumping Iron.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I just had it.
Oh,
Where'd it
no.
go? Commando? Is that what it's called? Commando.
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 I don't recall that. I've never seen that movie. I'm gonna have to leave that up to Dusty.
I think there's a possibility. Yeah.
Keep going. I'll look it up.
Predator.
I said that.
You did already?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh, he's
I'm out.
The Expendables.
Yeah.
He's a guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big jingle all the way.
It's already been said, right?
No.
No, nobody said that
that was just on my list in my
Commando,
head.
1985 action adventure.
Yeah.
All right.
By Markel.
yet. Conan the Barbarian.
That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, not Commando. So you said Hercules in New York City, and I was like, is that?
He's in that movie, but
Yeah.
he didn't know how to act, and his accent was so strong.
Did they do the
they-
voiceover?
yeah, he did
Yeah.
the voiceover.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else is he in? He's in a couple of comedies. Give me a countdown.
Yeah, he's in a lot of things.
He's done a lot of things. He did the Christmas thing. Nope. What did we forget?
What is the movie where he's on Mars? I can't remember the title of it.
Oh, that's weird. That's
The girl with
Total
the three.
Recall.
Total Recall.
oh,
Yeah.
what a great one.
All right, so I won.
You won.
You won 10.
Woo! That doesn't happen very often. I love it. All right, I'm going with what would have been my daughter's name if I were an idiot. Ophelia from the Cleopatra.
Everyone out there's daughter's named Ophelia. No offense.
Yeah.
It's a fine name.
It is. It's a fine name, but there's teenage boys are laughing behind her back, talking about feeling her up.
Oh, one Ophelia.
Exactly.
I would go Cleopatra, off Cleopatra. Really loved it.
All right, I'm gonna go. I got the next two. I'm gonna go Angela, just to keep ladies' names going.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Ho Hey, just to lock it down.
Somebody had to take it.
Yeah. Go ahead. I think I might get my other two.
We'll see.
I also think that. I have Cleopatra.
Yes.
Then I think I'd take Gloria as well.
Damn it, that was my next.
Very tempted to make this an all three ladies' name pick, but
All right, I'm going to go with what I consider my favorite song off of the self-titled album, Submarines.
Oh, good.
And then to switch thing, make sure I have a song on,
no.
different albums. I'm going to go with Brightside.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
because I already sang that.
I'm gonna get one of the songs I like.
Yeah, because I think one of my favorite songs from the Lumineers is my third pick. Leader of the Landslide.
Leader of the Landslide.
Really loved it.
That did not make my list.
I think it's about his mother.
Ooh.
Or a mother-like character.
And that's actually the song that's featured on Ted Lasso in season 1.
Whoa.
Episode 9, All Apologies.
Doing your research there.
Yeah,
I
well,
like
I
it.
was really getting into the soundtracks one, and that one stood out to me, so I wrote it down.
Gotcha.
So for my last one,
You know, I'm the strong silent type, so I'm not going to take, not going to let you know what I'm thinking. But I'm also loud and weak. Because I, like all people, express multitudes. My favorite Ted Lasso quote.
it's a great show. I'll miss it. I'm gonna go with AM radio for my last one. I really liked that. I almost went Life in the City there too. But yeah, no, I think this is nice.
All right, break us down. What do you got?
Yeah, all right, guys. So we're name heavy on this one. So Dan goes Ophelia, Submarines and Brightside. Pat, Cleopatra, Gloria, Leader of the Landslide. Then I finish it up with Angela, Ho Hey, and AM Radio.
Yeah. Donna was left off the list, but all the other girls.
Where We Are, Birthday. A lot of good ones.
Easy 3. I had very, very confident we'd get a good 3, a top 9. That would be very respectable.
Yeah, definitely. Soundtrack songs. Did you happen to make a list of where they were? No.
Yeah, I have it in front of me.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk.
I know Peter the Dragon.
Okay.
That one,
Yeah.
I've never seen it. It doesn't seem to be like one of the things that stuck around for. Like, do your kids know Peter the Dragon?
No.
No.
Yeah.
I've considered putting it on. I'm like, they're not going to watch this.
Right.
The song Scotland was on that TV show Rain that I told you guys about, all over the place. So it's been on like 9 episodes of that show.
Okay.
Ho Hey, Love Island, Bates Motel, Catfish, so like really all.
Hey yo,
Hard to
me
see.
and Big Kev, we were in the back, and we heard you talking about the Lumineers, and we don't care. Quit being such a mark for the Lumineers.
So Stubborn Love on
Love.
Nashville. Another one on Catfish, The Vampire Diaries.
Okay.
Yeah, it's amongst other things. I'm trying to pick out the ones that at least I know. Ophelia is on the Flash soundtrack. I have not, or the TV show.
But not the movie.
Yeah, and Happy Death Day, and then Happy Death Day to You, which I guess is a movie.
Happy Death Day to you.
Yeah.
To you.
Salt in the Sea is on Johnny, which I guess is a movie. Virginia River and Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, so it probably gets a lot of their songs get played in like the
We
Grey's
get it, we
Anatomy.
get it.
Yeah, and then there's nothing else I think
Right.
here to really highlight. I've already went through
They're good background.
Good Doctor,
song.
Pete's Dragon, right? We've already said. The Hunger Games is the last one. It's probably the most popular one. Is Gale Song is on the Hunger Games. Catch
And
on
I think
Fire.
they had what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence. I think she sang on it or sang.
Did she really?
Possibly.
I can't believe they made 4 of those Hunger Games movies.
I saw the first 2. I didn't watch the last 2. So I don't even.
Waste of Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right, let's vote.
Yeah, let's get into it, guys. So it's my beer, so I'll vote first. Guys, I like your guys' takes on these beers today. I'm gonna go with Gladiolus Pumpernickel. The label really does get me. I like that the beer is complicated yet simple. I think there's a lot to it, and maybe there's a lot more to the Lumineers. I think that maybe it meets the ear.
As we found out with the way you described the 3 album, I didn't realize it was a concept album.
Oh, totally. You have to watch the videos to really get it. And I think the beer itself, it drinks complicated to me. Like, you can tell there's a lot going on, but it's not like it's not one of those beers that I think is going to make you sick from that, like the over ingredients, right?
Yes.
Like they did a pretty good job with this. So I'm going to go with Gladiola.
Cool.
All right, you're up then, Danny.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote next. I think I talked a lot about this beer when we were first drinking, and I just banged it on the mic stand as well. The Felice Vendedor from Tired Hands. I really enjoyed it. It was a nice, pleasant beer. Just kind of felt good on my palate, and I could see having a few of these sitting in the backyard and having the Lumineers on in the background. So
Yeah.
Pat, comes down to you. The final vote. He's taking a big swig of his liquid death.
Yeah.
Mountain water.
Murder your thirst.
Yeah, he's clearing the palate, making sure he gets a good swig of both.
Gladiola Pumpernickel. Never had it before. Never had anything quite like it.
Yeah.
Feliz
Uh-huh.
Vendedor.
Ooh. You took Spanish.
I think you nailed it.
No, I worked with a girl from
Okay.
Cuba.
Well, why have
similar.
you let me butcher the name the whole time? Why couldn't you step in and say that?
Who was so happy that we mentioned her on the show. Hey, Carrie Dad. So this Pennsylvania beer, it wasn't so much the tastes that I related to. But the where did it say it? It was the corn light lager with lime
Yeah.
and salt. I think the Lumineers remind me of a corn-fed, America-filled
Oh yeah.
kind of beer, and that's what really made me go. Even though Spanish name withstanding, Feliz Vendedor, I think, is the Lumineers.
Hey, all right.
All right, say that one more time.
Feliz Vendedor is the Lumineers. No,
Ah, Lumineer.
Lumineers.
You messed us up, Dusty. Jeez.
Got it right wrong off the bat.
Yeah,
We could
beginning,
never
and
recover.
we finished up strong with it too, as well.
All right.
Or, Lumineers. Consider changing your name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, this was fun. I think it gave us a nice mellow mood. Like, Dan, you're up next. Like, how are you gonna top this?
How are you going to follow this one?
I'm going present day.
Yeah.
I'm looking for what's popular on alt rock radio right now. I wanted to find something, a band that only maybe had one album and an EP tops, maybe.
I love that.
I like
always.
when our research gets simplified for ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm being selfish there. So
Yeah.
right now, I am obsessed with a band. It's a supergroup called Boy Genius. You guys probably have not heard of them before,
I hadn't.
No.
No.
and they're pretty awesome. So I'm looking forward to talking about Boy Genius on our next episode.
All right. I can't wait to learn more about them.
So, can't wait to talk about Boy Genius, which I can only assume is a bunch of, tech bros who got together and started a band.
Oh, I
Very
can't wait for the
excited for
bleeps
that.
and bloops, guys. I
Silicon
love that.
Valley, yeah.
Boy Genius will be the next episode of Abandoned Beers. For this episode of Abandoned Beers, me, Pat Zapp, Dan McHenry, and Dusty Swartz, all of us thanking you so very much. We're the most popular we've ever been, and that's all because of you. Thank you very much,
Thanks,
and
guys.
until next time,
Abandoned Beers.
Abandoned beers.
Abandoned Beers.
I was Cleopatra. I was young and an actress when you knelt by my mattress and asked for my hand. But I was sad you asked it as I lay